got more complaints that you couldn't hear me, so I'm going to scream at you. Okay, let's get started. If you need to sneak off and get some more out of the brunch, go ahead. We won't tell anybody. I would just want to mention that the inspiration for me to start this program is here today. Jim, where are you? Where's Jim? Stand up. That's my son, Jim. Given Brendan Sailing is giving that Brendan Sailing is named after Brendan, the navigator, it's fitting that I tell Brendan's story to kick off the program, okay?
Okay.
You don't have any choice. We Irish know of an Irish monk who discovered America 1,000 years before Columbus. And in case you don't know that, it says so in a book in the basement of the Vatican. He spent 7 years at sea, going to different countries, looking for paradise. We don't know if he found paradise, but a lot of places say they're it. But he had a 26-foot leather boat. Must have been very nuts. Okay, meanwhile, we're enjoying this facility at the Navy Marine Corps Stadium. We have an interesting connection to share with you. On the Naval Academy grounds, just down the street, is the chapel, St. Andrew's Chapel. And we recently discovered that in that chapel is a special stained glass window that is dedicated to Brendan. Okay? Proving again that Brendan must have been the person that taught the U.S. Navy how to sail. So we got a good person to be named after. As you know, Brendan has a lot of kind-hearted sponsors, and they help us with this program year after year. This year, on the back of your program is a list of our partners and our donors. And if you're real nice, we'll let you be added to that. Some of these are not long-time supporters, and some of them are new. But we continue to be so grateful for all the support that we get, and we're going to recognize that generosity today. Most of you know Brendan's executive director, Ms. Charlie Arms. All right, Charlie.
Right here.
Okay. So would you give us a report on the 2018, but please take the time to point out some of the highlights of the advancements we've made this year in the individual curriculum.
I certainly will. Thank you, Mr. Muldoon, and welcome everyone. And it's great to see faces and see all the kids dressed up, looking sharp. Before I tell you what we do, I want to tell you why. We do this because we love sailing. We're very passionate about our sport. It's a lifelong sport. It's pretty good for the planet compared to a lot of sports. And every day on the water is different. It can be challenging, but overcoming those challenges is what makes it rewarding. So many children with learning differences struggle in traditional classrooms, in traditional sailing lesson settings. And we want to bring that sense of accomplishment, the confidence to be able to helm your own vessel and then take your parents sailing in it to all these children. So that's why we do what we do. And what we did in 2018, one of our accomplishments was we were the first organization nationwide to complete the self-certification for the new National On-Water Standards. It does help that a few of us in this room have helped to write those standards. And I'd like to acknowledge our board member, Todd Lochner, who is an attorney and helped with the legal aspects of the National On-Water Standards program. Thank you, Todd. Another thing we did in 2008 was we increased the number of girls in our program. We had a 50-50 split of women and men in our 2018 session 2 at Annapolis, and I thought that was pretty amazing. but we need more participants. We had 50-50, but we were not at 100% participation occupancy. So in the jars in front of you, there's a rolled up sheet, and it has the Brendan dates for Annapolis, at Annapolis Sailing School, and for St. Mary's College. So all of you, please grab this, pass it to a friend or a neighbor or a classmate or a teacher at your school or someone from church or someone from Boy Scouts. We need to get the word out. We don't want to be the best kept secret in sailing. So that's this piece of paper. We couldn't do any of this without the generous support of our donors that Mr. Muldoon just pointed out on the back of your program. If you would like to become one of those donors, there is a pledge card in your jar as well. You can complete that, just leave it in the center of your table, and you'll see your name on the program next year. Thanks very much.
Okay, so let's now move on to the awards. We'll be presenting 7 Brendan Awards. Oh. Okay. 3 of our Annapolis program, 3 on our St. Mary's College program, and our newest award with the winner selected by the Brendan Board of Directors. Naturally, we want to take a moment as we begin to recognize 2 of our main sponsors who provide a physical foundation to help us fulfill our mission. Our 2 Brendan homes in Maryland, one in Annapolis and one in St. Mary's. As you can imagine, their generosity is a major factor in our sustainability year after year. We start with the Annapolis, our longest running Brendan program. Rick Nelson is here. Would you please stand, please? He is the owner of the Annapolis Sailing School and continues to support Brendan as we are always looking for ways, and he's always looking for ways to strengthen our relationship. Rick, of course, also joined the Brendan board last year, doubling his commitment to supporting Brendan. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it. And thanks to your wife, Jenny, and your entire staff, especially John Cosby and Ricky Nelson Jr. They go out of their way every summer to help our Brendan kids have the best possible experience, and I really appreciate that. And it's not just a summertime that we work together. In fact, tomorrow we're having another meeting with the DC Sail people, and we're going to explore some ways to cross-market our 3 programs. And now our second home, St. Mary's College of Maryland. For 13 years, we have been privileged to call St. Mary's College our St. Mary's home. As you know, our St. Mary's College program offers a unique opportunity for our Brendan sailors to experience residential life on a college campus, opening potential education pathways for our sailors to consider as they think about the future. Today, we are very excited that a number of St. Mary's College senior leadership is with us. I'd like to recognize them. Please stand as I do, so that you've been told to talk louder again. You guys need to buy my hearing aid. You'll be able to hear me. Today, we have a lot of senior leadership from St. Mary's here, and I'd like to recognize them. Would you please stand as I call you so the audience can see you? President Tawanda Jordan is here today. We are so happy that you can join us. Carolyn Curry, there she is. She's the Vice President for Institutional Advancement, and she oversees many of the key activities that keep St. Mary's campus operating, including events and conferences. So Brendan sailors, we have Carolyn to thank for the support we get from their staff every year. Thank Chip Jackson, longtime St. Mary's executive who recently retired from a position as the college vice president for business and finance. But like so many of us compulsive workers, he could not stay away, and now he is back serving as government relations liaison for the college. Chip, thank you so much. And Adam Werble, director of the waterfront and head sailing Seahawks team. St. Mary's sailing team has won 15 national championships and produced 150 sailing All-Americans. That's pretty impressive. Our Brendan sailors are in good company during the summer. Thank you so much for being here and demonstrating your outstanding commitment to supporting St. Brendan. Let's give a hand to our supporters for both our Brendan homes. We open our program with the No Guts, No Glory Award, our longest standing award. The name of this honors a couple that have been involved with the Brendan family since the very beginning, over 3 decades ago. It's actually the name of their boat, not them. Gene and Howard Klutz are so instrumental in the early days of Brendan and we are endlessly grateful for their ongoing wholehearted support. When the Klutzes let us know they would be on extended travel at this time, they also said that we understand Lee Tawney did a good job last year of making the No Guts, No Glory Award. So can we get Lee to do it again this year? And he has agreed to do it.
Thanks, Jim. My wife and I have done been coming to these events, I think now for 4 years. Can you hear me? I've been coming to these events for almost over 14 years now. And to my mind and our collective feeling, it's the most passionate, heartwarming sailing event that we have ever attended. So I want to for you all to thank Jim again for bringing us all together over these years and making us feel that sailing is not only important to us personally, but that we can share sailing with the whole community. Jim, thank you very much. So, last year, should I speak louder? So last year I mentioned, I'll mention it again. When you look at this on the program, it looks like something in Russian. You don't separate the words. So the No Guts, No Glory award is given today each year to a sailor who contributes to the Brendan program through a positive attitude and an eagerness to sail. This year's awardee was a first-time Brendan camper in Annapolis. He was not new to sailing or camping. However, he was quick to learn how things are done on Bemby Beach. He was eager to share his nautical knowledge with everyone. One day, he brought in a chart of the shipwrecks of the Mid-Atlantic to share with everyone. Another day, he came to camp with a copy of Chapman's Piloting. That's pretty impressive. The authoritative book on everything boating. He was delighted to talk about the wide variety of boating illustrations. He also embraced the off-the-water projects that were begun by Brendan this year with the U.S. Sailing REACH program, the program for STEM education in sailing. In fact, one of his outstanding accomplishments was modeling a vessel out of clay that held the most balance. So, the winner of the Howard and Gene Klutz No Guts, No Glory Award for this year's outstanding contribution to the Annapolis Sailing Program, I'd like to invite Thomas Callahan to come up and
Thanks, Lee, for kicking off the awards presentation. I'd also like to thank Lee's wife, Dunny. She is here again once this year, demonstrating her continued commitment and support of Brendan as well. Thank you, Dunny. Now on to our next award, the Gottlieb Award. This award is named after Dr. Daniel Gottlieb, a well-known psychologist and radio host, radio talk show host, and he's been a long-time supporter of Brendan. You may recall he is the father of Brendan's previous executive director, Debbie Ewing. Linda Kessler, who has been our supporter for decades also, and a board member, would you please come up and make this year's presentation?
So we're really lucky today that we've got an extra Gottlieb, well, he's a Ewing, but he's still a Gottlieb, here to help me. So Sammy, you want to come up? Yeah, I'm going to try not to embarrass you too much, Sam. So as Juna said, Debbie Gottlieb was our executive director for years, and Pat Ewing was our director of sailing. So Sammy's had a front row seat to Brendan for many years and participated in the camp for many years. So thanks, Sam, for helping me out today.
Yeah.
Before we get to the award, though, I also want to recognize a very special Brendan supporter and longtime friend of Brendan, and a longtime friend of Jim's and mine, who worked with us for many years and whose father was a great, great friend of ours and will be missed. So I'd like to ask Chris Keith, please, to stand up. Chris works for the Omidyar Network Foundation, a philanthropic investment firm, and for the last several years, Chris has selected our project, Brendan, as an organization that helps make a positive social impact and sees that his firm makes a very, very, very generous contribution to Brendan annually. So thank you so much, Chris. All right, on to the award. The Daniel Gottlieb Award recognizes a special parent volunteer who goes above and beyond to support our program. And we have many of them, many, many wonderful parents. So thanks to all of you out there. This year's award winner did just that last summer in many, many ways. We all know how spending lots of time and energy on the water sailing can make us hungry, and Brendan sailors know that firsthand, right, Sam? Yeah. This parent was eager to have snacks ready and waiting a number of times during the Annapolis program, so you can imagine how popular she was with our Brendan campers, right? When we learned that Chesapeake Bay Bulletin reporter Cheryl Costello wanted to interview a Brendan parent for a media piece, this year's winner immediately volunteered to go on record. Her insights and remarks helped make the video meaningful for other parents interested in learning the value of Brendan sailing.
It is our honor to present the Daniel H. Gottlieb Award for the parent volunteer who contributed to the success of the program. For all your support, Pam Cusick, please join us to receive the Gottlieb Award.
Thank you, Sammy.
Okay, thank you, Linda. I forgot to mention she's also my wife. the Arthur Burney Award to the St. Brendan's Advanced Sailor. Learning to sail includes learning about the environment, the wind, the tides, the weather, and while you're on or near the water, sailors often enjoy sunshine, warmth, and beautiful scenery. Thanks to Art and Lex Burney, the owners of Port Annapolis, we are fortunate to kick off our Brendan program every year, surrounded by such beauty at Port Annapolis. Holding our program orientation up there and on the water is a real treat. Lex, we'd like to thank you again for your continued support. Would you please come up and take the award? There he is.
Thank you, Commander. I know I was chastised for doing that. I'm sorry my dad can't be here, but he did tell me to always start off any talk with a joke. Good advice for anybody who has to do any public speaking, I think. So I don't have a joke, but I do have a riddle. So I'm wondering if the campers can supply me with the answer to the riddle. What do you do with a sick boat? No takers. Take it to the dock. Okay, so the Arthur Burney Award is given to a St. Mary's sailor who demonstrates a clear love for sailing and for the Chesapeake Bay. An individual who wants to learn, contribute, and evolve into an accomplished sailor. This year's awardee has been involved with Brendan, as I learned at my table, since 2013. And each year, as his sailing skills have grown, so has his contribution to the program. Executive Director and Sailing Director, Charlie Arms, tells us he's been helpful to all of us in so many ways, whether telling us where some of the equipment was stored, filling a water jug, or sailing with anyone I asked him to. This camper's even temperament and positive outlook help shape an excellent climate for our sailors to learn and grow. His presence truly contributed to the success of all Brendan sessions in 2018. For these reasons and so many others, Frankie Fallon, congratulations. Please come up.
Thank you, Lex. Joanne, did you have something to share with us today?
I do, Chairman Muldoon. What a surprise. Actually, as you know, we really enjoy the facilities at St. Mary's as an opportunity to help our young Brendan sailors experience what college life might be like and hopefully aspire to go down that path. So there's another path. It's called career pathing. And I'd like to invite our board member, Molly Mahoney, to come up and tell us a little infomercial about career pathing in the maritime community.
Thank you. Can you hear me? I'm going to read you a list, and you can tell me what it has in common, what these words have in common. Sailing instructor, marine engineer, environmental scientist, naval architect, aquaculture worker, fisherman, hydrometeorologist, oceanographer, hydrologist, lifeguard, marine biologist, naval architect, water research specialist, and captain. What do they have in common? They're careers you can find around water. And one of the blessings of my life is getting to know, first of all, Mr. Muldoon and the family here, but having the opportunity, after having been in business, to help young people bridge between college and career, which I'm happy to be doing with St. Mary's College. Just to mention a number of things that any student at St. Mary's or a member of the Brendan Sailing Program will have an opportunity to do. So you're not just having fun out there in the water, you're getting ready to have a job. So join the career.
Thank you, Molly. As a matter of fact, this next award is the Mahoney Award named after you, Molly.
I'm still alive.
The award recognizes a volunteer who goes above and beyond and to support the Brennan program at St. Mary's. As a successful businesswoman and former St. Mary's board chair, Molly has been a long-time supporter of Brennan. And that started well before she started being on the St. Mary's board. Molly, thank you again for your ongoing commitment to Brennan and expanding that commitment by joining our board. Thank you. Is he here? We are also especially happy that you made the presentation of the Mahoney Award and annual family affair. Once again, this year, Dan, Molly's son, will be presenting the award. Dan, would you please come forward and present the award named after your mom?
Can everybody hear me all right? Awesome. No? So first, I just want to say thank you to Jim and the rest of the Brennan family for welcoming my mother and I and the rest of my family. This is such an inspiring organization, and we're really blessed that we're able to be a part of it. So thank you all. So it's an honor to represent my family here today on highlighting and recognizing the achievements of a Brennan sailor. While Brennan's home base is Maryland and now DC during the summer, administration of the program actually lasts throughout the year. Whether it's holding strategic planning meetings or dealing with financial and regulatory requirements, planning board meetings, or running social media programs, there's just so much to do throughout the year. And this year's Mahoney Award, this year's Molly Mahoney Award has become the go-to person while many of these tasks need attention, from doing storage runs for equipment and supplies, to preparing the technology and for board meetings, to carrying trophies between Washington, St. Mary's, and Annapolis. He does it all. He is responsible for the writing and editing of the Brennan newsletter as well. So Brennan President Joanne Dorval says, his knowledge of the inner workings of Brennan is extensive. He continually goes above and beyond to get the tasks done and volunteers his time with enthusiasm. Andrew Holden.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dan. Now I'd like, and please come back next year and do the same. Now I'd like to take a moment to call out a person you met last year, an expert in driving for success in positioning Brennan Sailing to better serve youth with learning differences. Brian Dorval, founding partner of Think First Serve. Thank you for your strategic plan and guidance. We are so grateful for all you are doing because it's working. And most importantly, we recognize that you are donating a sizable amount of your time to Brennan, and we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, and the Jerry and Catherine Wood is named for the former longtime owners of the Annapolis Sailing School who originally gave Brendan a home it continues to enjoy today. We are truly fortunate that the current owner, Rick and Jenny Nelson, are continuing to generously provide us with an Annapolis home. As you can imagine, having facilities donated has an enormous impact on our program costs. You hear me? Louder?
Speak up, Joe.
I've never had anybody say that to me. Especially on the phone, something very opposite. So thank you again, Rick and Jenny Nelson. Our heartfelt thanks to both of you. Rick Nelson, would you please join us to present this year's Wood Award?
Yes, I would happily join in presenting the CETA Award. Well, this is certainly an honor to be able to give this award. As Jim had said, our relationship to Jerry and Kathy would actually go beyond just owning the sailing school, being kind of the stewards of the tradition, if you will. Now, Jenny had grown up on Bendy Beach and had taught at the sailing school. So it's quite fitting that we're able to continue the legacy of their award. And it was a real pleasure for me to really learn what Brendan Sailing does, the impact it has. Just meeting people through various award ceremonies, but also the summer when I'm down there. And so we're truly lucky to be able to contribute to that. The Jerry and Kathy Award is given really to the camper and the St. Mary's program, which has had a big contribution to group success through participation, but really through a positive outlook and working with the other campers. And certainly this year's recipient embodied all of those things. The eagerness to learn, but maybe more importantly, to participate, not only on the water, but on land. And I understand that one of the specialties of this year's recipient was kickball in terms of favorite activities. But perhaps the greatest attribute exhibited by this person is that really with new campers, helping them learn, helping them become comfortable, recognizing what it was like when he was first a camper. And indeed, this year's recipient would like to be a counselor for Brendan Sailing. The skills that he's acquired and that attitude seem to be perfect attributes for in the future that person being a continuing part of the Brendan Sailing program. Josh Evelyn, if you
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Rick. Joanne, you had some information for us?
We have another infomercial, and this is going to involve another individual, Mr. Rick Frankie, board member. We're going to jointly tell a story that you might enjoy, sir. I don't know that you know about this, but we're going to bring it back up. Last summer, we decided we were going to have a surprise birthday party for Mr. Muldoon. And so as he loves sailing, so we thought, okay, great. We'll get a sunset charter, we'll invite his friends, be out on the water for 2 hours, they can tell sailing stories, and it'll be great. So we do this maybe 3 months before his August birthday, and then we hear one day, Mr. Muldoon walk in the door and said, I have a great idea. I think I'm going to charter a boat for a week on my birthday. And we thought, uh-oh, we already have one for you. But We didn't want to dissuade him from his week-long charter versus 2 hours on the water. So we thought, now what are we going to do?
Got my own.
Okay.
Well, at this point, now, those of you who have been around Brendan for a while know you get a phone call from Joanne. Your life is going to get more interesting, one way or another. Something's about to happen. So I was middle of the summer, staying in the air conditioning, staying out of trouble. My phone rings, it's Joanne. She explains this to me. She explains that the boat they chartered is a Woodwind, 76-foot schooner that operates out of Annapolis Harbor. She called me because I spent 6 years part-time as a driver on those boats. So I know the boats and the company very well. She explained the problem and she asked if I could intercede with Captain Jen, who owns the Woodwinds, to get a refund. Well, about 10 minutes later, I stopped laughing. And the policy at Woodwind is no refund. So I suggested that instead of going into the discussion asking for refund, that Joanne asked if they could just postpone until the next season and do something special with the boat. And actually, I was thinking of maybe, a cruise for the staff or something like that. But Joanne came up with a really neat idea.
Indeed, we did. So, of course, after the party, the surprise party, we explained what happened to Chairman Muldoon, and he said, you know what? Why don't we donate it to Brendan Sailor? We can use it for a fundraiser, we'll increase our visibility, and we'll give an opportunity for our young Brendan sailors to get out on the schooner. So in fact, that's what we're going to do. Thank you, Chairman Muldoon. This next quarterly newsletter, probably April, Andrew, you're in charge of that, right?
Yeah, probably April.
Probably April, you'll be able to read the details of the program that we will be unveiling. In essence, all of you Brendan sailors will have an opportunity to basically earn a slot on the boat. So you might have to get 10 sponsors or 15 sponsors. There are 48 seats on the boat? No, 48 slots on the boat. So we're going to...
Seats is adequate. You can usually sit on the cabin top or in the cockpit.
Okay. So there are 48 open slots on the boat, and we'll invite the public to come in as a fundraiser side, and then we'll also invite our Brendan sailors to come out sailing with us. So you have something to look forward to. That'll be probably midsummer, but we'll let you know. So that's our story for today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that and all else, Brendan. Thank you. Our next award is Brendan's newest award. Last year, you may recall, we announced the board had created the Dorval Award. A huge surprise to Joanne. Caught her off guard. We have asked the Brendan board member, Amy Werbo, to present that award. Amy, before you start, I want to tell you that it would be impossible to replace all the effort and all the activity that Joanne does and has done for this event so long. Thank you.
So this recipient of the inaugural recipient of this award was chosen for his long-term support of the Brendan program in St. Mary's. A meticulous steward to St. Mary's College for over 30 years and counting, our honoree has steered, planned, and implemented much of the infrastructure on the college campus, including the planning and building of the James P. Muldoon River Center. He has always taken his responsibility quite seriously. He prioritizes the needs of the students and the mission of the college. As a lifelong sailor, this individual understands the empowering lessons that sailing can teach. He recognized the shared commitments of St. Mary's and Brendan, and he has used his strategic planning and administrative skills to bring and keep Brendan to the shores of St. Mary's College. So today, the board of directors would like to recognize and honor Chip Jackson for his long-term
Any notes here? You get my dialogue. Where do I go from here? Here. Thank you, Amy. Thanks for serving on our board. Thanks for all that you do. Really appreciate it. We have a new initiative in Annapolis that you might like to know about. Lee, would you tell us about it?
Thanks, Jim. Jim, Lex, Joanne, and I are working with Mayor Gavin Buckley to take a lot of the activities that have been going on for several years and create the Annapolis Waterfront and Sailing Center. So we'll look forward to working with all you on that. Holly's here, Golden Bear will be still with us. We're going to have visiting boats like Lynx and other classic wooden boats. We're going to continue the STEM sailing program. We're going to continue the recovering warrior regattas and the classic wooden boat rendezvous and race. And we're also adding an event, a gathering actually, of getting all the 8th graders in Annapolis out sailing. So thanks, Jim, Lex, Joanne, for helping us get this started.
Thank you, Lee, and thank you for all you've done for the Annapolis boating community. We really appreciate it. When we first established the Loman Award, Kurt was so thrilled to know that the Donnybrook family would be forever connected to the Brendan family. We continue Kurt's legacy today by recognizing a Donnybrook crew member who helped instill in our sailors, our Brendan sailors, what it means to be a true sailor of character. Kurt's wife, Roberta, and his daughter, Vicky, are here today to once again present the Loman Award.
As a member of the newly expanded Brendan board, I have become increasingly aware of the many contributions that the Annapolis community makes to support Brendan sailing. That includes Port Annapolis, where we hold our Annapolis Brendan orientation every year. And so we would like to again say thank you to Lex, Bernie, and to your father, Art, for continuing your generosity towards the Brendan program every year. My husband, Kurt Lohman, loved sailing. He loved teaching. He loved sailing with the kids. And as the longtime navigator for Jim on Donnybrook, he truly loved Donnybrook and the Donnybrook program. He was also a committed Brendan supporter. And I would just like to take a moment to thank the boys in the back, our Donnybrook crew members that are here today to support the program, and thank you for your continued support of the program.
The Kurt Lohman Award was established to recognize a like-minded Donnybrook friend and mentor of Brendan sailors. This year's Lohman Award winner was a friend of my dad's, both on and off of the water. This year's award recipient has been selflessly helping the Brendan program for years. When we asked for Donnybrook crew members to sign up to volunteer for the Annapolis camp, this sailor did not hesitate.
So this summer, he spent an entire day with the Brendan campers. He gave a chalk talk, went out on the water in the coach boat, stayed well after the daily fun to attend to both the boats and pack up the equipment. He connected with and energized our campers, sharing some great stories about sailing, especially on the big boat, and camaraderie that builds among the crew members on the water.
As an accomplished engineer who works on marine equipment and a longtime Donnybrook sailor, he continues to serve as a role model for our Brendan sailors. My friend Prince Gabe, thanks for all you do for Brendan and our sailors. Please join us to receive this year's award.
proud of you both for continuing to support his legacy. And Roberta, thank you so much for being on our board and for all you continue to do. Brendan, thank you so much.
Chairman Muldoon, can I interrupt for just one moment?
Yes, you may.
I think there was a rumor going around a little earlier about Roberta.
Oh, there was,
Yeah, I
yes.
think there
I
was.
didn't know whether it was true or
I
not.
think it is. You might let everyone know.
Okay, this is Roberta's birthday. And to show what a nice guy I am, I'm not going to tell you how old she is. During our last brunch, we announced another initiative to connect the Donnybrook team and the Brendan family while supporting another very worthy cause, the Hospice Cup and the Donnybrook Brendan Trophy. Charlie, can you remind us of what this trophy is for?
I sure can. The World of Sailing is really taking on initiatives to increase youth participation in big racing events, whether it's the America's Cup, the Youth Red Bull Racing, even the Bermuda Race. Increasing youth participation is a goal of a lot of regattas. So when Hospice Cup came to Mr. Muldoon to sponsor a trophy, we decided that the Donnybrook Brendan Trophy would be presented to the team whose crew was made up of the highest percentage of youth.
Okay, well, we advanced the Hospice Brendan relationship a step further this year and have some special hospice people here to tell you about it. Scott Anderson and Christine Laser. Scott, will you please come and tell us about it?
I've got a microphone right here. Everybody want to thank everybody for coming out to support Brendan Sailing. Thank you so much. We encourage participation to raise funds and awareness for hospice care, but part of that is participation with Brendan Sailing to get kids out on the water. Another opportunity. We'll soon be rolling out a forum where skippers can invite participants from Brendan Sailing to sail with them, and a venue where kids that want to participate, want to sail in the Hospice Cup, will go out with the skipper and sail with them. So it's going to be a two-way street. So if anybody knows is going to race with us at the Hospice Cup, please invite a Brendan sailor. And Brendan sailors, guys, if you want to come sailing the Hospice Cup, please sign up, and we'll get that information out to everybody soon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the Brendan sailors another chance to get out on the water and support hospice at the same time. And now for some real fun. I have been told that I mispronounced this. We're going to have the pothole drawing. Luann, will you and Charlie hold the pothole drawing?
The pothole drawing, yes, of course, Chairman will do. Charlie?
All right, so you all have your raffle tickets that you got when you checked in with your anchor. And we are going to first start off with our sailor's bag. This sea bag with the anchor on it is actually from recycled sails. So any of you sailors in the room, if you've got some old sails in your garage you want to get rid of, call me. I will come and pick them up, and we will send them up to Maine and create wonderful sea bags out of them. So if I could get Anna, can you come help me? The first drawing is for the sea bag. It also has a Helly Hansen dock kit and some really cool Red Bull foiling generation stuff. What's the number? 35. Oh, no, wait. 32. It was upside down. 32. 032. All right, Frankie, score. This kid's on fire.
Okay, congratulations, Frankie.
That kid's lucky. Good and lucky.
I know. Okay, so we talked about Mr. Muldoon's surprise birthday party, which we actually did have. Donnybrook crew were there, many friends were there. As part of the gift giving, Greg, actually our Logan Award winner, gave Mr. Muldoon this beautiful remote control model sailboat with the idea that it be passed on to the Brendan family for good use. So Craig, configured it so that it is a replica of Donnybrook. So one lucky winner today will take this with them with one stipulation.
All right, so we can't just let it go away and not see it again. And we want to test Craig's engineering capabilities to see that it actually is remote controlled. So we are going to have a Donnybrook Day at our Brendan camp at Annapolis Sailing School on Friday, June 21st. Want to get as many Donnybrook folks down as we can. And Craig's going to rustle up some more remote control boats, and we're going to have our first ever remote control boat fleet challenge. And so we're excited about that, and that's June 21st. So the winner will call your name and jump up and down, but don't worry, we're not going to make you carry this boat out to the parking lot like this. We will put it all back into its box and send it home with you.
And of course, Donnybrook Table's back there. We want to encourage all of you to join us on that day, partner with one of the Brendan sailors and tell stories and help them with strategy and so on and so forth. We've got our crew coordinator here, we've got some captains, we've got some mates. It's on you. Encourage the rest of the folks to join us. Okay.
All right. Can we have Tim? Tim, can you come up here and pull a ticket for me? Right over here, buddy. Tim just thanked me for his postcard from Russia. At the end of the summer, I went to Russia and I sent all the kids a postcard in August, and they just got here last week. True story. All right, we have number 070. It's a pink ticket. 070. No way. It's Tim's dad. Oh no, who's sitting there? Oh, the Petersons. She had to go because her son's going to college. All right, okay, well, all right. Peterson's going. I thought that was rigged. Did you not? Okay, Chairman Moving, back to you.
Okay. I hope you enjoyed today's program. I would like to tell you that I like getting compliments about the Honeycrook, but the one I like most is when people say to me, "I've seen your boat from behind." Before we go into the picture taking mode, let's give a round of applause to all of our winners. Thank you, presenters, and the real big thanks to all of our donors and sponsors. Give a hand. And finally, I'd like to recognize the folks who helped put on today's event. Jasmine, Andrew, Davis, Martha, Jackie, thank you so much for working. I think you'll agree these Naval Stadium facilities are amazing, and we're so grateful for the opportunity to be their guests. Is it happening? Okay. So it's only fitting that we pay tribute to our fellow sailors as we raise the anchor and prepare to set sail. While we do that, award winners and presenters, please come to the podium, and Brandon Board Member Mark Andrew will take your picture. Congratulations, everyone.
All I did was marry Bill.
I got one last. Yeah, what was that award? Oh, bye, Evan. Summer. See you this summer. Well, we have it.
Yeah, Jack will be,
Oh, okay.
it's mostly, Joshua. Don't think. That. Don't think.
You did grab your,
Board members don't leave.
Just go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah, good show. 2009.